Focus question. What are some of the ways that e-learning is changing K-12 education? Background. For some background on e-learning, according to Connections Academy, more than 2.7 K-12 students took part in blended or online learning programs in 2014. E-learning for K-12 students is provided in several ways. There are for-profit companies. For-profits produce everything from out-of-the-box courseware to a full, planned curriculum with teachers, tutors, proctored exams, literally a virtual school. There are also nonprofit companies. Some nonprofit organizations offer online learning, often with different aims in mind, such as helping at-risk students graduate. State Departments of Education. Some states offer their own courses. For example, Florida Virtual School offers courses to both Florida students who do not have to pay and others outside the state who do pay tuition. Individual districts. Individual districts buy online software and create their own blended learning approaches. They may also develop online coursework of their own. Impact. How has the issue impacted the field? A main benefit of implementing virtual learning practices is the increased ability to monitor student progress. And, perhaps the biggest strength of virtual learning is how easily it can be adapted to meet the needs of each student. Many virtual learning environments can identify and react to places where students need increased support or where they're performing beyond expectations. Impact. Continued. Online learning opportunities and the use of open educational resources and other technologies can increase educational productivity by accelerating the rate of learning, reducing costs associated with instructional materials or program delivery, and better utilizing teacher time. According to a 2016 article from the Tech Advocate entitled, "Should K-12 Classrooms Get on the Online Learning Bandwagon?" Exposing students to online learning long before they reach college is practical. This point paints online learning as a life skill of sorts, something for kids to understand before entering the real world as adults, much like balancing a bank account or learning how to create a resume. Obviously, one of e-learning's strengths is its flexibility. As one student said, "We can connect more. I don't just learn in the classroom, I learn all day." What are the relevant aspects of the issue? Some of the relevant aspects of this issue are, now that e-learning is here to stay, how can it get better, and who is benefiting the most from e-learning? I teach at an online charter school. As part of my research for this assignment, I looked at this issue in terms of charter schools. Based on my research, it looks like online charter schools have a lot of room for improvement. In one article entitled, "Iowa's Online Charter Schools Struggle with Performance," it notes the state has 22,000 students attending online charters, but a new report finds their overall performance is far worse than brick-and-mortar schools. Another article entitled, "Online Charter Schools Struggle to Engage Their Students," states that research funded by the Walton Family Foundation suggests that students of online charter schools had significantly weaker academic performance in math and reading. But the issue of performance is complex. According to an article called "Charter Schools, a Report on Rethinking the Federal Role in Education," students who transfer out of a regular public school into a charter school may have had particular problems adjusting to school, and this may affect academic outcomes independent of the type of school they are attending. And relevant Relative to statewide averages, charter schools tend to attract a disproportionate number of students eligible for free or reduced price lunch, as well as minority students. Indeed, according to the article called Charter Schools, a report on rethinking the federal role in education, research suggests that charter schools are particularly effective in raising the achievement of low-income and minority students in urban areas. By granting underserved students access to high-quality education, charters offer an option to family and students, offer another option to family and students, and by looking at the specific needs and challenges of students in a particular demographic group or community, charters can create a strategy designed specifically for those children. Implications. I think the major implication is that there are many factors that go into why schools are successful. E-learning is still in its early days, and it's going to take a while for it to reach its full potential. How does this issue connect to our course content? In this course, we've learned a lot about instructional design. Good design is one of the main factors that can lead to successful e-learning. Future. How do you see this issue evolving in the future? For both e-learning and more specifically online charter schools, some of the main issues that will evolve are the technology used, the instructional design models that are used and developed, and especially with regard to online charter schools, I think there will be increased accountability regarding student performance. Charters were built on the premise of autonomy in exchange for greater accountability. It has become clear that when this accountability is not enforced, charters fail to perform as they are intended, performing no better and at times worse than traditional public schools. But for researchers, the challenge is to identify the active ingredients that differentiate more successful charter schools from less successful ones, with the awareness that those ingredients may involve interactions between what is offered by a school and the characteristics of the student and the families being served. Perspective. How has your perspective on the issue changed, if at all, based on your research? For the most part, my perspective has not changed, although now I have more information to back up my perspective. I knew that e-learning was still in its early stages, and I knew that some online charter schools were viewed with skepticism. But having been in education for around 25 years, I know that public schools in general are often viewed with skepticism. I think that e-learning truly has the potential to transform education, to fill education gaps, and to allow all students with IEPs, 504 plans, athletes, musicians, gifted students, etc., to reach their full potential. I think we just need to keep trying and keep learning and keep striving to better serve the needs of all of our students. Thanks.